Hey everybody, it's EB1493 coming at you with another video today. And this video is going to be talking about interracial double standards. This is a request that was made by CADILLAC KADAFI. Now, CADILLAC KADAFI and I, we've been not only YouTube friends for a while, and we've also been Facebook friends recently. But anyway, this video, once again, is going to be on interracial double standards when it comes to black men and black women. Now, for example, I'm going to start with film. How is it that when a black woman is represented with a non-black man and non-black interest in film, like for example, The Princess and the Frog, Princess Tiana was engaged or married to Princess Naveen, who, by the way, is not black, but happens to be Maldonian. He's sort of a brownish, well, light tannish, brownish, light brownish color. And I find that hardly anyone has anything to say about it. I bet you had a lot of black women praising that film because, for one, that is Disney's first black princess, and two, I bet they were happy because she was given a non-black interest instead of a black man, because they feel that black men are no good, that they're immature, and that gets me to talk about the Disney villain, Dr. Faciller, who is a black man. This only further, enhances the stereotype that black men are criminals, black men are thugs, black men are no good. And I have a serious problem with the way black men are represented in Disney media, in particular. That we're being immature, that we're being class clowns or thugs or playboys and all that stuff. That hardly you find a positive black male. Like, I think the closest they had for a positive black male was Oscar Proud from the Proud family, even though he was a buffoon of a sort, even though he was silly, but he was a very good father. I think he meant well. But getting back to the topic, black men's mentality in real life. I mean, if we see a black woman with a white guy, we don't care. I mean, we do not care at all. Because that's her relationship, because it doesn't involve us at all. So, I think that some of these black women are trying to chase after these non-black men just to make us jealous, which I find that very few of us get jealous, but I know the manginas get jealous, but regular black men, I mean, we brush it off like, okay, so you go after those guys because we can get other women to date us, okay? Yeah, so yeah, you have couples like Halle Berry and her ex-fiance, who happened to be white. Now she's with a kid, now she's single. Because I find that the only type of black woman that most of these non-black men are going to mess with are light-skinned or red-bone or biracial type of black women. Because hardly I find that a non-black man is going to mess with a dark-skinned black woman with Afrocentric features. And this is just from my experience. Now, here's where the interracial double standards kicks in. Have you guys ever seen the movie Red Tails or seen the movie Flight starring Denzel Washington? In both of those films, that the main characters, which were black men, no, I think one was the main character. Denzel Washington was a black man, and he was a black pilot, and it turns out that he had an ex-wife which was black, played by Garcelle Bovis, who played Francesca Monroe on the Jamie Foxx show, and she was his ex-wife, and he had a son. Then recently, after he made the crash into wherever, he met this white woman who was also a drug addict, I think a drug addict of a sort. And they sort of fell in love with each other for the time being. And what I don't get is that whenever it comes to interracial romances between black men and non-black women, unlike black women with non-black men, it always seems like those type of interracial relationships involving black men usually seem to end in tragedy, which I don't like. Because what I notice is whenever it comes to interracial relationships between black women and non-black men, they usually live on. And I'm thinking, why can't black men be happy with non-black women? I mean, that's what I ask myself. Why can't non-black women be happy with black men? And I'm not just talking about any black men. I'm talking about regular black men, your average black man, one that's decent, one that's in school, one that's trying to further his education, one that's trying to get a job in the future. Those type of black men. And those who treat women with respect, regardless of color. I'll just tell you the truth, straight up. I hate double standards, and especially I hate interracial double standards the most. Because I feel like if I were a producer and I were writing these stories about black men who love non-black women for the right reasons, not the wrong ones, I would make sure I do everything in my power to make sure that the story is a happy ending. Because it doesn't matter what type of woman that a black man likes. He deserves to be happy with her. And in particular, those black men who love non-black women like I do. Particularly white women, which I love, the most out of every group of women. He has a right to be happy with her. But then where else the double standard kicks in when you have a lot of these black women that are just hating on these black men for being with non-black women, particularly white women. Here's what I notice. Black men with Hispanic or Latino women, yes, they still get hate, but, although, Latinas can relate to us because, they've dealt with racism as well. But about time that a black man gets with a white woman, all hell breaks loose. Because I'm thinking, I just want to say to these black women, why can't you just leave them alone? It's just a man and a woman, that's all it is. Regardless of color, it's a man and a woman. It's ordained by God, because when the God had made Adam and Eve, he made man and woman, regardless of color. When he said, be fruitful and multiply, he said, wed man and woman. A man and woman is to wed each other. Not a man and a man, not a woman and a woman, a man and a woman. He didn't say anything about color. And need I remind people again that a lot of few biblical figures had married somebody outside of their culture. For example, Joseph from Genesis, chapters 37 through 45. He married an Egyptian woman, and he was a Hebrew. Same thing with Moses. He was a Hebrew, and he married a Midianite, a Cushite woman. I have mentioned this in my interracial versus interfaith marriage video, that both Joseph and Moses married black women. And also David married a black woman because the Hittite people were black. But anyway, what I hate is that whenever it comes to interracial double standards, I feel that black men are hit hard the most because Nobody wants to see black men happy with non-black women at all. For example, Tate Diggs and Idina Menzel. Now, those couple have been together for a long time because black women used to go crazy over Tate Diggs. You know, men like Idris Elba, Tate Diggs, Denzel Washington, Lil Wayne, all these other black male celebrities. But about time that when a non-black woman gets with, guys that, look similar to them or are just regular black men, they get jealous. They get hateful. They get spiteful. They want to hate on her body size. Now, let me just say this. Black women are not the only women with big butts, big breasts, curves, hips, lips, and all those other things. I have seen other women with lips, hips, butt, curves, breasts, naturally. So, non-black women are more than capable of being curvaceous, voluptuous, naturally, just like black women. Latinas, yes. White women, definitely yes. Asian women, yes. Any other woman that is not black, yes. And there I said it. Because if black women are gonna, thumbs down my videos, well, they can't because I've disabled the thumbs or likes or dislikes marker. If they dislike this video, that's too bad, because if they message me self-hating stuff, or if anyone sends me racist stuff, they will be blocked from this page permanently. Because I've started blocking people who are racist from my page. But all I gotta say is that black women need to stop hating on black men with white women, black men with Latina women, black men with Asian women, black men with Indian women, black men with Native American women. It doesn't matter. And what gets me is that American black women as a whole, well, the majority of them, whenever a black man goes outside of his country, in particular, to marry a foreign non-black woman, particularly one from Europe. Let's just say that if I was in a relationship with a Dutch woman and I came back to the United States to visit my parents, I bet you, I would get a whole bunch of hate from black women that they cut their eyes, give me whatchamacallit, that evil eye stare. For no reason. Because they think that, oh, this nigga hate all black women. I mean, I'm gonna boycott them. No! How many times must I say it? I do not hate you guys. I just have a preference for other women. That's all it has nothing to do with you at all. It doesn't. Because when will you learn that not every black man is going to wife up black women? Most will. I'm telling you right now, the minority of black men date out. You'll find that more white men date out than black men. Just date the majority of black men that love you. Because why do you keep worrying about the minority of black men that date out? Because you are under the notion that most black men go after white women. That is not true. That's not true at all. Most black men I know are with black women. How delusional can you ladies possibly be? Because when you just want to make sure that every black man is going after you while a lot of you chase non-black men. Well, not every black man is chasing you. In fact, most white men aren't chasing you at all. They're chasing their own women or some other race of non-black women. Well, And here's another thing before I end this video. You feel that a lot of you self-hating black women who wear weave, who wear perms, who bleach their skin, claim to be mixed, wear contacts, you try to replace the white woman in America when she is the beauty standard of this country. Because you try to replace her thinking, I'm better than a white woman, I'm better than a Latina woman, I'm better than an Asian woman because I am the queen of the earth. Okay, so we all know that humans came from Africa, each and every one of us, yes, but you have a lot of, not just you American black women, but you American women in general, a lot of you have this diva complex, which I notice on television. You really do have a lot of this diva complex when it comes to, and black women in America, yeah, you're at the top when it comes to the diva complex. When I noticed the Real Wives of Housewives of Atlanta, the Basketball Wives, all the Game, all those BET shows that I notice sometimes. I know what I'm talking about because I have, evidence to back it up with. But all I gotta say is, for all of you black women out there, stop hating on black men who are in interracial relationships because that's none of your business. It's not. It isn't now and it never will be. So stop. Just stop and just leave black men in interrelationships alone. EB1493 has spoken, and peace out.